is your favorite superhero? I heard someone say Thor. Maybe it's Superman, Jean Grey, and the X-Men. Batman? Any Batman fans in the room? Or Wonder Woman? Or Linda Carter's Wonder Woman? Yeah? The invisible flying jet? Or Superman himself? What is it about your favorite superhero that you like? Is it their superpowers? Is it their sexy tights? Or is it the way that they put themselves in harm's way and help others every single day? No, it's probably sexy tights, right? And even Batman shows us that we don't need to have supernatural powers to be a superhero. In fact, Stan Lee, who is the father of the modern superhero movement, he's the one who created Thor. He created X-Men. He created Spider-Man. He's also the president and chairman of Marvel Comics. Stan Lee says that a superhero is someone who does heroic deeds for the good of others. Like Riverside dispatcher Diane Howard. Early last year, 2016, 12-year-old Farhan Ashad was at home alone when two would-be burglars broke into his home. He locked himself in a closet and dialed 911 and got dispatcher Howard, 17-year veteran of the force, who got the police out to his house just in time to nab the burglars. This is Farhan meeting his everyday superhero. Or dispatcher, wait for it, Corona dispatcher Elise Rodriguez. On January 21st, Jeff Evans collapsed in his home. His wife Carolyn dialed 911. She had never performed CPR before. And with dispatcher Rodriguez's help, she was able to do CPR until paramedics arrived. Both Jeff and his wife Carolyn spent that weekend with their 11 grandchildren because of the efforts of this superhero. Or Alameda County Sheriff's dispatcher Lucy Guzman and Deborah Williams. Last month, a call came in to Alameda County Sheriff's from an Idaho crisis hotline. They had a suicidal subject on the line who they believed was in the Bay Area. After some questioning, they found out that the suicidal subject was in Long Island, New York. Using Google and Facebook Live and some tenacity, Lucy Guzman and Deborah Williams were able to find out the specific location of the suicidal subject and get local dispatch to the location. And you don't know this, but Lucy is in the room today. She's somewhere over there. Let's give her a round of applause. There she is. She's the only one I knew for sure was in the room, so thank you for being a good sport, Lucy. Now, there are many more superheroes in this very room and doing this work every day. In fact, raise your hand if you know that your efforts on a call or on the radio have saved at least one life in your career. Put your hand up high. Put your hand up high. And look around. Look around. We are in a room filled with superheroes. Thank you for participating. So this superhero business, this business of 911, I'm curious if you know what business we are in. What business are we in? Who's got some ideas on this? Say that again? We're in the emergency services business. Great. What else? What other business might we be in? Life-saving business. Counseling business. Someone else said customer service business. Right? The people business. Well, I'm going to give you a hint. When people call in, most of the time, they're not very happy, are they? And through our efforts, we're working to turn that frown upside down. And yes, I know that 70% of calls are non-emergency, placed by a population who believe they have an emergency, and we may not be able to provide the service that they need, but 30% of calls are placed by folks who really need our help. So I would argue that we are in the happiness business. The happiness business. I know when I say that to a room of crusty, bitter dispatchers, you say, oh, the happiness business. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Imagine for a moment that these three people, 3 lives saved by these superheroes in the stories that I just told, their family and friends are happier. The 11 grandchildren of the Evans family got to spend the weekend with their grandparents instead of doing something much different. And their family and friends go out into their communities and they spread this happiness as well. Think of it, the ripple effects happening as a result of your efforts. And if you think of the volume of calls that come into 911 nationally, 240 million calls are placed to 911 in the country every single year. If only 30% of those calls are making this impact, it's huge, right? It's huge. So you have a huge responsibility in spreading this happiness.